I had a patient go into respiratory crash, and that was pretty scary. I was right out of nursing school, and I felt as though I was inadvertently thrown under the bus, meaning I was sent to a patient's home, and nowadays there's basic training for doing what they call bagging, meaning helping someone breathe with a bag. But in nursing school, it's not as intense as it needs to be. And so I had a patient that it was completely what we call vent dependent, meaning he was 100% dependent on his machine to breathe. Otherwise, it stops breathing, he dies. Well, because I didn't have the right orientation from other nurses that had worked with this same patient, just something as simple as having secretions and not knowing what this patient would do with a certain amount of secretions, he had what they call a respiratory crash, meaning he started to turn blue and his vent was going, the alarm was sounding, and I didn't know what the problem was, and I didn't have anybody there. If you don't think that is traumatizing, that you're watching somebody turn blue and you don't know what the problem is, that almost ruined my nursing career, because in a hospital you hit a button and there's a whole team that shows up. I was alone, and that patient was turning blue, and I went into autopilot. I dialed mother on the phone, who was not at home, and she happened to talk me through the situation. But if I wouldn't have had that help, maybe all this patient could do was blink. They couldn't talk, couldn't communicate. So I grabbed the bag, not knowing, and never done it after nursing school. And when you're doing it in nursing school, you're only doing it on a mannequin. You're not doing it on a live person. So I felt like I was going to die because I was petrified, and that patient, So it was extremely traumatic. But was it a good experience for me? Yeah. Because with that same patient at a later time, just with blinks, he helped me. He said he let me bag and breathe for him while he coached me just with blinks, faster, slower. And that helped me overcome the fear. Because you tell me, if somebody's life is in your hands, are you afraid? Oh yeah. If you don't have the right training, he could have gone south. Luckily, we had an understanding mother who said, don't let, nurses, holy smoke. Nurses are not respected like they need to be. And anyway, with that patient, he eventually helped me overcome that fear, because I was that was traumatizing. Here somebody is dying and you don't know how to help them because you weren't given enough training. So we transmuted that, so to speak, into something good, because one time his respiratory therapist said, I'm going to have to turn off his vent for 20 minutes. And what do you think happened to me? I said, oh no, you wait a minute. And so I talked to the patient, and he says, I will coach you through this. So that was the opportunity I had to breathe for that boy with his help, while that respiratory therapist turned off the machine and made the adjustments that needed to be made. And then after that, my fear was gone. Some nurses don't get that chance. You know, they have to put them into orientation and give them all kinds of training. It's a scary thing, you know. You're dealing with these kids, and you can have an experience that just changes your life.